So once you determine that you want to buy or sell practice, the one thing that you want to do is, first thing is, one of the things you're going to have to do is get a valuation. And so I mentioned CVA. A CVA is a certified valuation analyst, and so CVA has a designation in order to do independent valuations. You might have, if you're looking to get a corporate offer, they'll put an offer out there. It wouldn't necessarily be a valuation, but that's more of an investment offer, and there's a difference. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Some factors that go into a practice valuation. And so people say, well, can you just give me an idea, real quick idea based on my top line revenue, what my practice is worth? And it's not that easy. When you go through a valuation, what you'll find out is they'll ask for a ton of information. They'll ask for 3 years of financials. They'll ask for tax returns, financials. They'll ask for a lot of information on your practice management system. They want to see how many clients you have, how many active clients you have, revenue per client. They'll ask for all kinds of information when looking through your financials, including like digging into your actual accounting. And because there's so many things that go into your practice, the practice size is one of them. Bigger practices tend to be more valuable, and you can see that in the actual benchmarks. You can see that when you're looking at the AAHA has really good some benchmark studies, and if you look through those, you can see they'll break it out between large practices and smaller practices, and they actually go by doctor and also by revenue size. And if you kind of look through there, you'll see that there's a lot of these larger practice size. You'll see smaller expense ratios, you'll see larger revenue, and so sometimes these practice sizes can be more valuable, and also depending on what location they're in. Urban practices, suburban practices can be more valuable than rural practices, just out of the fact that there's more buyers. You might have more people that are interested in buying a practice, especially if it's a smaller practice. You might have more buyers. And then there's some differences between small animal, large animal practices on the valuation. And then also, depending on whether you have assets or equipment or not, somebody asked me, I guess yesterday, about buying, do you have to buy the building if you're looking at buying a practice? And of course, you don't have to. The owner may just look at that and say, you know what, instead of you buying the building, you can buy it from me, but they might be looking at that as a source of a retirement income stream during their retirement. So they might say, I might do a lease, 5-10 year lease on that building instead of actually selling that as part of the practice. And if you're looking at buying, you may say, you know what, I know right now this is where I want to be in a practice, and so, but I may not know 10 years from now. So you may not want to buy that building. You may say, I'm going to do a 5-year lease with an option to buy down the road, and see where things go after the practice gets going. So I just threw a couple valuation methods on here. A lot of times these methods are done called an income approach, but they basically are looking at cash flow in the practice. They're normalizing the owner's compensation. So depending on you're taking a bigger salary or smaller salary, they normalize the compensation, they normalize the rent on here. What you're really trying to do is compare this to other size practices and see what value this practice can be, and then they look at some different multiples. We don't include cash, receivables, or typically real estate in the valuation. Real estate has its own valuation. And then cash, receivables, a lot of times the owners will walk away with those as well.